Shazazz Creations, your one-stop shop when it comes to customization. Totes, tees, tumblers, hats, and more. Looking for a customized gift idea for a graduation, birthday party, baby shower, or just a unique creation of your own? Check out Shazazz Creations as seen here on Whitney D TV. Female, Black owned. Use my promo in the description box down below and let her know Whitney D of Whitney D TV sent you. Thank you. Bye.
What's up, Jewel Gang? So I would like to address this white woman who goes by the name of Nikki Marie on Facebook. Her page is private, but her DMs are wide open. You see, this scarecrow thought it'd be a good idea to slide in a black woman's DM, bully and harass her over having a small disability. Pause and read. Pause and read. Pause and read. You see, this beautiful black woman you decided to harass for having a small disability, when being compared to you is walking art. Black women are literally walking Picassos, which is why snow roaches like you envy us so much. You look like the cashier at H-E-B that has to call the manager every 5 seconds because you're too stupid to work the register. You look like splattered bird shit dried up on the side of someone's car. You couldn't match her beauty if she gave you an audio booklet with a step-by-step description on how to do so. And between me and you, I'm the bigger bully. Sit your ass down.
Think you got game, but you really lame. Think you really think you could play me? Boy, you better think again. Quick to say these girls ain't loyal, but you got 7 girls sitting paying your phone. Now tell me who's really loyal? It ain't you. These boys ain't loyal, talking about us girls, saying that we are bodies. But us girls will hold it down, pick you up when you down, and give you anything you want. You're trying to run game that's already been played, gonna get your heart broken. Do you know who you are dealing with? Liar, liar. Thought you were slick. Liar, liar. But I'll always be flyer. Liar, liar. Thought you were slick, but
What up, you guys? Welcome to the channel. If you're new, don't be. Go ahead and click that subscribe button to be a part of the Witness gang, to join the Witness Nation. Now let's get into this, shall we? Hello, you guys, and welcome to the channel. If you're new, don't be.
I'm Whitney.
Hello again to everyone, and welcome to this beautiful afternoon, morning, nighttime, whenever you're going to be listening on this playback. However, it is the afternoon here in Texas. Okay, so I pray you guys are having a wonderful day. What's up to my girl Shanti? Hey, honey bunches of oats. What's up, West Coast Beauty? How are you? Hey, Keely. Hey, Latrice. Hey, you guys. Hey, Nene. Hey, my honey bunny. Hello. Pray you guys are having a wonderfully stupid blessed day, to say the least. If you are not, uh-oh. Hold on, you guys. Something just came in. Hold on. Okay. All right. If you guys are not, I pray that you guys are having a blessed day, to say the absolute least. Okay. So we're just going to get into some. What is this? We're just going to get into some updates when it comes to this whole R. Kelly trial. You guys know that we actually read an article on yesterday when it comes to the case and the trial and things of that nature. So I just wanted to bring you guys some updates. Also, a motion was passed. Hey, Larry Minion. Hey, Larry's Minion. Hello, hello. It was a motion that was passed. And so I am going to read on that, okay? But then you guys come back on here tonight, okay? And let's chit chat tonight or whatever, okay? All right. So let me get everything switched over. Let me share my screen with you guys and let you guys hear this. It's like 17 minutes, you guys. So bear with me when it comes to this particular, but I mean, it's good. Okay. All right, let me go ahead and play this.
Good evening, I'm Yodi Toloda, and this is Making the Case. Jurors heard some of the most disturbing testimony yet as the prosecution wrapped up its case against R. Kelly in federal court today. Another accuser described the shame she felt over her sexual relationship with Kelly, a relationship she says he described as, quote, paying her dues. BNC's Dre Clark has today's developments from Kelly's racketeering and sex trafficking trial in Brooklyn.
Angela, the accuser who testified, was very clear in her recollections and very confident in her statements, saying that R. Kelly knew she was a minor, but he still wanted to have sex with her repeatedly. Angela told the jury she was 15 years old, in high school, and wanted to be in a girl singing group produced by the great R. Kelly. That never happened. But what did quickly develop was a sexual relationship with Kelly. Angela said the first time she had sex with Kelly was at his home, and there were two other girls in the room. She said Kelly had sexual contact with all of them. Their sexual encounters continued, she testified, at Kelly's studio, his home, and on the road. Angela became a backup dancer for Kelly at just 16 years old. She said Kelly told her having sex with him is part of paying her dues. Then in 1992, Angela says she met the late R&B singer Aaliyah. She was told Aaliyah was the next hottest wave out of Detroit. She remembers it well because it was Aaliyah's 12th birthday. She then testified at some point between 1992 and 93, while they were on tour with Kelly, she walked in on Kelly giving Aaliyah oral sex on a couch. Angela said Aaliyah hadn't turned 13 yet. She recalled turning around right away and telling the other girls, don't go in the room. Angela stopped dancing for Kelly in the mid 90s. She said she never wanted to tell anyone what she did with Kelly sexually because she was ashamed. But she did appear in the documentary Surviving R. Kelly, talking about her experience. Angela said from day one, she was always told, whatever you do, protect Robert. Also testifying, Diana. She worked as R. Kelly's assistant for 15 years. She said she ended their working relationship in 2018 because she could not see eye to eye with R. Kelly's new management. She told the jury that sometimes R. Kelly would get upset and he would yell, but she never witnessed him abusing any of his girlfriends. And she also said, although she did quit several times while working for R. Kelly, she always went back because she felt like the people around R. Kelly, he couldn't trust them. She also says R. Kelly could not read or write. He had no information about his bank accounts, and he didn't even know his social security number. In New York, I'm Dre Clark for Making the Case.
Today's testimony was disturbing, and much of it could be pivotal for the prosecution. Here to talk with me about today's developments is veteran prosecutor and BNC's legal contributor, Paul Henderson. Okay, Paul. So this witness, Angela, she testified she was sexually abused by R. Kelly beginning at the age of 15, says she saw him performing a sexual act with the late singer Aaliyah when she was only about 13 or 14. Now, what do you think the emotional impact of that testimony will be on the jury?
I think it will be significant because a lot of people probably know who Aaliyah is. And I think it will make them very uncomfortable if they are believing the testimony of this witness that R. Kelly was engaged in sexual activity with her when she was as young as she was reported from the testimony. That's got to be powerful testimony to hear while you're sitting on a jury evaluating sexual behavior, inappropriate sexual behavior for someone. What I think is more important, though, or balanced out against that shocking news about Aaliyah that we weren't necessarily expecting to hear today in the testimony, was from another witness confirming about what the processing behavior was, and that's called, in legal terms, the grooming of how he got people to do things that he got them to do, these alleged victims. And that's going to be really important because you're hearing and connecting the dots on the jury about consistent behaviors, consistent rules, and consistent directions that were given out by R. Kelly and his team about what to do. And I know people are still really defensive about him in some communities and in some areas, and they're really judgmental about testimony and even the testimony today. That defensive approach to hearing this testimony, at least for me, it falls into pretty much three different categories. One, judgment about promiscuity from fans and groupies that were engaged in willingly in behavior, even sexual behavior with R. Kelly because he was a celebrity. Two, that they were lying, but we have to put a pin in them lying because a lot of that lying was part of the package of the rules that they had to follow and the directions that they were given, independently of whether or not they lied to him about their age or not. And then three, the benefits that those folks received. And I'm talking about money, I'm talking about trips, and I'm talking about, in this case, actual work, because she was part of his team and given an opportunity to dance for him and work for him as long as she followed the rules. The bigger issue, though, obviously, is always, what did R. Kelly do and what did his team do? Because they told them to lie. They had them write out these fake narratives against their own family members and friends, and they were told to isolate, and all of these things did isolate them from their family and friends. And then if they didn't follow his rules, they were punished, and they were also, a number of them, exposed to STDs. That's a big thing, but the real issue, as always in this case, is his inappropriate sexual action with them. Again, because it's statutory rape, it is illegal at the time, and that's at the heart of why today's testimony was so important and relevant and connected to what we've heard in the past.
Well, Paul, Angela also testified that Kelly told her that having sex with him was her quote paying dues if she wanted a career in the music business. Connect the dots of the significance of that phrase to the elements the prosecution needs to prove of a criminal enterprise.
Sure. Well, all of that goes into the power differentiation that she held when she came into interaction with R. Kelly, right? So as long as he was telling her that in order for her to work for him, in order for her to be associated with him or affiliated with him or to have a career or do anything, that she had to engage in illegal activity. That's it. That's the racketeering. All the prosecution has to show is that there were at least two separate instances where R. Kelly directed or R. Kelly benefited from illegal behavior that he orchestrated. That's the key. So him telling anyone that paying your dues and the paying the dues was illegal or illicit behavior, that's the racketeering charge right there. I think the prosecution has given the jury a plethora of things to choose from that they can choose to believe. And if they are true, again, more than one, just more than one, it just has to be at least two, then that's the racketeering charge right there. So it's really important that that conversation and that specific directive about paying your dues came from R. Kelly himself. And that's today's testimony. That's why it matters.
Now, Angela said that when she was with Kelly, her mindset was, quote, whatever you do, protect Robert. That's something we've also heard from other accusers. How do you think the defense will use those comments to support their narrative?
Well, they're going to show the prosecution, the defense will use that, you mean, or the prosecution?
Yes. Well, we know what the prosecution's trying to prove, but how do you think the defense would actually turn that to favor their narrative?
Yeah, the defense is going to say that they were protecting R. Kelly because they wanted to protect R. Kelly. He didn't do anything. And now all of a sudden that we are years later and years out, they've all changed their narrative, or there was an absence of a narrative that's just coming out now. And they always had the choice, if they really believed that he was doing something, to have done it before, and they didn't until now, conveniently. So they'll try and undermine the testimony and try and shine the light on the fact that they thought that their job was to be protecting R. Kelly, and now they seem to have changed for whatever reason after they received all of these benefits, and that may undermine whether or not it's true of what they said. I just think that that's a difficult road to climb, given that we've heard over a dozen and women testifying consistently about R. Kelly's behavior and his team behavior. There was a stronger nugget today from the assistant who has been with him consistently for 15 years.
So we're getting there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We're getting there. Diana, right? Okay. So earlier in the day, Diana, one of Kelly's assistants who you're referencing, wrapped her testimony up, but she was also labeled by some of the accusers as someone who would do Kelly's dirty work. Today, she said she quit several times, but would come back because she was worried about Kelly's well-being. This was a man, our BSC's Dre Clark actually mentioned it, that had no control over his bank accounts, had trouble reading and writing, didn't even know his own social security number. So here's a woman who, Paul, seemed to care more about Kelly's well-being than those he allegedly abused. Now, wouldn't this make some of her not so favorable testimony for the defense that much more credible to the jury?
Absolutely. I think she is going to be their star witness, or so far, based on the testimony of everyone that I've heard, she has done the most to characterize a defense option for the defense team. And I would put her back on the stand if I were that defense team to get her to articulate that, hey, out of all these dozens of people that you heard were in and out of his life for periods of time that received money from him, that may have been promiscuous by your own standards and definitions, here's someone that was with him for a very large period of time, was consistent in seeing him on the record, off the record, interacting on stage with these people, and she never saw anything. You heard her testify under oath that she never saw inappropriate sexual behavior, and we need to believe the people. And again, she wasn't just a fan of R. Kelly. She quit several times. She was objective. She had her own judgment. She spoke her own mind. And here she's telling you that she never saw any of these things. And if he were running an entire criminal enterprise, wouldn't the person that he paid to be his closest assistant be able to tell you more than what the prosecution is trying to tell you and the story they're trying to sell. That's how I would argue it. And I think I could make a persuasive argument. But again, this is one witness that was paid by R. Kelly for a long period of time against all of the other testimony we heard all of last week and this week as well.
All right, I'm gonna stop that right there and let's go ahead and get into everything. I just wanted to share that with you guys, and some points that stood out to me. And then I wanted to get into the comments because I did see some people interacting. What stood out to me about Diana was that she returned. Just like all the alleged victims, she returned as well. But the reason why she states that she returned is because she felt as though that Kelly couldn't trust the people that were around him. To what extent? Like, what do you mean by trust? You get what I'm saying? Hey, Michelle. Hey, honey bunches. Welcome over. So what registered to me whenever that came about, it's like, what couldn't he trust? What he was doing with these underage individuals? Like, it's kind of like that to me was kind of negative, because it was just kind of like she could keep this secret. And for years she did. Hey, Medina, honey bunches. Hey. You know, and so that stood out to me, to say the least. And then furthermore, to hear her say that she didn't see anything. She didn't see the abuse. For 15 years, you saw nothing. You saw nothing of the sort. Even Demetrius, took witness to, inappropriate behavior and things of this nature. But you, the assistant, for 15 years, you saw nothing. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Let me get into this. Because y'all saying some wonderful stuff. Let's talk about it. Right, West Coast. He didn't trust her either. She said he made her write one of those fake letters too. Exactly. And if I'm not mistaken, I don't want to get the witnesses and people and you testifying mixed up. But wasn't she the one that he had wear a robe? So girl, bye. You weren't special either, to say the least. Okay. You were not special. Okay. And I also wanted to show you guys something. I forgot to get it uploaded, but it's came out, and shouts out to, hold on, let me go on and give my shout out. And I didn't go through my whole little spew today because it seems to run a little long, and I'm not intending this video to be long, but oh goodness gracious, hold on. Shouts out to the R. Kelly case open discussion. If you guys are not a part of this group, it's on Facebook. Shouts out to them, to say the stinking least, because yeah, this is where I'm getting all my information in regards to this trial. They are doing a thorough dig in regards to what is going on with this case. And so I actually got this information that I'm about to share with you guys from them. I'm not gonna act as if I did all this myself. Like I told you guys from the beginning of time, I haven't really, dig deep in regards to it. All of this is my thoughts and, perspective about the case and on-sort. And so, but I just wanted to share this. And then we're going to get into the motion that was pushed today, if that was granted or what have you. Okay, so let me go ahead and get into this. But yeah, shouts out to the Kelly case, and Robert Keller actually got me in on this group, so shouts out to them. This is where I've been reading from my transcripts from, as well as getting this information, because they just are thorough about the stuff that they are presenting. Okay, so they're stating, and the reason why I wanted to play that clip is because they're stating that some of the I guess the likes of Diane too, and Suzette, and because if I'm not mistaken, Suzette even said she didn't see anything or whatever. He was just mean. Well, from what they're reporting in this particular group is that they were lying. Okay, so this is what they had to say. Let me share my screen with you guys. Okay, hope you guys can see that. Let me bring my little stuff on the screen. Okay. So it says, finally, the probative value of these recordings cannot be overstated. The recordings the government seeks to admit consist of, and I'm going to read this whole document. Okay. This is a motion. This is just an insert from it. The recordings the government seeks to admit consist of the defendant's own statements. Let me, you know what? Let me do this too. Let me do this too while we're at it. Okay. In his own words and in his own voice. Y'all hear that, right? So what y'all have to understand, and what I've been saying, but nobody's been really listening, and everybody been jumping in my comments, having attitudes and talking all silly. It's a buildup. Feds have a 90% conviction rate. Okay. It was always a build up. Now we're starting to see the evidence unfold. Okay. And then you can't get away from this. This is him in these cameras. I told y'all this. Let's continue. In his own words and in his own voice, they thus provide unassailable proof that the defendant had no compunction raising his hands to females, overtly threatening them and directing them to stay in locations and not leave until he said otherwise. This is the part. Such evidence is palpable and powerfully different than witness testimony. You're okay, Nikki. Welcome, pretty girl. Pretty lady. Y'all heard that part? Powerfully different than witness testimony, which can be challenged. Oh, but nobody's talking about this. Everybody was talking about, Azrael getting impeached and all that stuff. I still ain't heard nothing about that. Y'all know that it's a trial that takes place if they want to impeach, one of these witnesses. Yeah. Let's continue though, okay? Which can be challenged, okay, on the basis of memory and perception and credibility. Unlike witness testimony, the recordings contain the defendant's own words and action. Irrefutable, rebuting the defendant's argument that he was always respectful towards women, that he treated his girlfriends and female guests well, and that he never physically or psychologically abused anyone. So, what these employees are saying, clearly not the truth. Clearly not factual, to say the least. To say the absolute least, okay? And so then I also wanted to read this part, and we're actually going to read this this new motion that the government put in. And like I said again, let me shout them out again. Shout out to the R. Kelly case open discussion group from Facebook. Okay, this is where I'm getting this information, as well as, you can actually do your own research and gather all this information, but just so you know where I got it from. Shouts out to them. Okay, so now let me share my screen once again with you guys, and this is what they said. And we're going to get into this motion. Okay, this is what you guys are here for. We're going to actually get into the motion. Let me just read this part for you guys. Okay. And this is something, as I stated, that I got from the group. Okay, this is what it says. It says by Neat. Shouts out to Neat. She's an admin in the group. She states, this is an insert from the new motion the government put in. He put the fear of God in these victims. Ugh. So it goes on to say the government served a trial subpoena on Jane Doe number 20 to testify as a witness at trial, and plan to call her to testify tomorrow. However, after the government played the audio recording for Jane Doe number 20, and Jane Doe number 20 traveled to New York to prepare for her testimony, she started to have a panic attack and appeared to have an emotional breakdown. For the sake of her mental health, the government advised Jane Doe number 20 that it would not call her as a witness at the trial. In addition, the recordings also include evidence of the participation of others in the charged enterprise. Including George Kelly and certain of the defendant's engineers. In his opening statement, the defendant has argued that no enterprise exists and that no one else participated in any such enterprise. Well, it's about to get disputed, to say the least. So I just wanted to bring you guys those readings, and now we're going to actually get into the reading in regards to the motion. Okay. Just to warn you guys that are easily triggered. Unfortunately, it's going to be very detailed with actually some with his verbiage. Okay, so I just want to put out that trigger warning for you guys right now. Okay, so let me go ahead and share my screen. Let's go ahead and get into this reading. Okay. Okay. As you guys see, this is the official document. Okay. United States Attorney, Eastern District of New York. Okay. And this was filed on today, you guys. Filed on today. Okay. All right. Let's get into it. Okay. It says, Dear Judge Donnelly, the government respectfully submits this letter in further support of its motion to admit one video recording and one audio recording, both of which show the defendant physically. Did you hear that? Let me highlight that. Both of which show. It shows it. This is no hearsay. This is no more just them talking and shooting the ish. You're going to see him in motion. What are you guys going to say about that? But let me continue. Both of which show the defendant physically and verbally abusing and threatening females for the reasons set forth below and in the government's motion to admit other acts evidence. Do you hear that? Bless you, Bobo. Admit other acts evidence. It's more, you guys. More videos. More videos. Okay? Now let's go on to the background. As set forth in the government's motion to admit certain uncharged acts, the government seeks to introduce excerpts of two recordings recovered. Recovered where? With a warrant at a storage facility used by the defendant. There go that over 100 devices. They're just now cracking into it. Oh, but it's a long trial, you guys. The recorded excerpts show, one, the type of physical and psychological abuse the defendant employed to exert and maintain control over women and girls with whom he was engaged in sexual relationships. And two, his regular use of audio and video recordings to maintain control of females and protect the charged enterprise. it says here, continuing, government exhibit 484, a video recording. It shows the defendant. Hold on, y'all. Hey, Bobo. Sorry, y'all. My baby came in here. Government exhibit 484, a video recording, shows the defendant entering. Oh, wow. So this is like the whole shebang bang. This is not just a 1, 2, 3 cut. No, you're seeing him walk into the room. You're seeing his demeanor, his behavior. What, Nikki? I hear you. They're gonna make up something, but it's kind of hard. You know what I'm saying? This is something he set up. Lights, camera, action. Boom. Set the stage. You feel me? Goes on to say, shows the defendant entering a room with 2 women in it and accusing one of the women of lying. The defendant can then be heard beginning to physically assault the women. So you can hear it. You can hear him assaulting, slapping, hitting. We're going to hear that. We're going to see that. He also directly threatens her. If you lie to me, I'm going to F you up. The actually assault is not captured on the videotape, as they are then out of the view of the camera. And y'all support this monster. Child. They are then out of, notably, the video appears to have been taken by a stationary camera mounted somewhere overhead in the room. The government has not identified either of the female depicted in the government exhibit 484. Miss Cecilia, true enough, however, you can hear it. And know that this is not the only recording. You can hear it, though. And this is not the only recording that they have. So, yeah, that's very true. On this particular one, you can't see the assault, but you see him enter in. And it doesn't take a rocket scientist to know that the situation was amongst whoever he walked in the room with. So you're absolutely right. You can't see the assault, but know that there's other videos where you can. So, and know that what got Harvey Weinstein in his situation is audio. It had nothing to do with video. So, and you're absolutely right, Miss Cecilia. However, the difference is now this is HD, baby. This HD and it's multiple. See, that was one little grainy video that he got away with, but it's multiple. This is just one that they cracking into. It's multiple videos. Multiple, love. So you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. We can't see, and then he did get off, but I guarantee you, I doubt it very, very strongly that he gets off this go round. It's very, I very much so doubt that. Let's see. But the recordings make clear that the defendant is upset about a sexual act that occurred between the 2 females, strongly suggesting that the defendant is in a sexual relationship with one or more of the females. Okay, let me continue. Exactly. This is a Fed case. This is not state. This is the big boys. And so it's not going to be some little measly, wheezy, one little grainy video. This HD, baby. This iPads, iPhones, and I mean, the way technology is now, they can take the little, I mean, and I know because I do video editing. You can remove the grain away from videos nowadays and make it very crystal clear. I do it all the time when I edit videos and stuff like that. You can take out background noises and pull up particular voices in audios and stuff like that. Oh no, this is not the technology of yesteryears. And if the feds can tap into clouds, trust you me. Trust you me. Okay, so anywho, let's continue. Nene says, crazy-ish is I found that video that he was in and couldn't finish it, or of course it in fact I wasn't planning on to, but it was clearly him. So I don't understand how he got off. He paid his way out of that. Yeah, he paid his way out of that. I mean, yeah, it was him. I mean, that's why everybody is wishy-washy with everything. It's 1 minute he got off, but then it's like, well, we really know that he did it. Well, which one is it? But we all know. We all knew that was him. I'm gonna continue with the insert because it's lengthy, you guys, and we ain't even got to the damaging part of this. So 1 second. All right, sorry, y'all. Okay. I was trying to read over a little bit. Okay. So it goes on to say in Government Exhibit 485, this is another exhibit, an hour-long audio recording. Y'all hear this? See, we just got to talk about Exhibit 484, but this is another one that they're entering in. An hour-long audio recording. The defendant, along with Enterprise member George Kelly, also known as Uncle Bug and June Bug. See, this is a Gus. This is what I like. See, now we talking about the people that are involved. And he's caught on audio now. Let's go, y'all. See, let's talk about some real stuff here. Okay, you get into the gusto of stuff. Who has been identified by multiple witnesses at trial, absolutely, confronted Jane Doe number 20, a woman whose identity is known to the government about her purportedly stealing a Rolex watch, from the defendant's residence. Does anybody by chance know who that was? Because I remember, watching the docu, but I'm not quite sure if that was transcended or did we hear about I think it was TK talking about this. Y'all put in a chat if y'all remember, but I'm just trying to remember. I think we can pinpoint who it was. I saw a lot of people saying that it was Dominique. I don't think this is John Doe number 20. I mean Jane Doe number 20. I'm not quite sure. Maybe as I read more into it. Tyra, yes, baby, they do require exhibits because it all correlates with like different phases in the trial, and so they have to number it. And that's also with the Jane Does and stuff like that, because they have different evidence that's going to correlate with those. And if they just put Jane Doe, it's a lot of Jane Does. But if you specify with a number, you can differentiate the different ones, you know, because they're all Jane Does and John Does. Well, not all of them. To a certain extent, they are, and that's the reason why, you know, we really don't see what's going on right now, because the severity of these identities of these Jane and John Does, if that makes any sense. Okay, so let me continue, y'all. So it goes on to say, at the beginning of the recording, the defendant told Jane Doe, number 20, that he had cameras everywhere. Man, say, like, y'all, this fool admits, I got cameras everywhere. On camera, I got cameras everywhere. Okay. And said, you know how I am with cameras. He then explained that he had cameras in my studio, my van, and my garage, of course. When a male in the room, believed to be George Kelly, whom the defendant introduced to Jane Doe, number 20, earlier in the recording by saying, this is my Uncle Bug, added bus. The defendant then made clear that he also had cameras on the bus. During the recording, the defendant also told Doe 20 that his engineers had downloaded the videos that, oh my gosh. Hey, Karen. Hey, my love. Child. I'm just getting into this request to submit evidence from the government, and it is spicy. Okay. It is spicy. Okay. So it goes on to say, in the recording, Jane Doe, number 20, ultimately admitted to taking the watch, a t-shirt, earrings, and porno tapes. When she admitted that she took the tapes, the defendant asked her what she intended to do with them, and she said that she only intended to watch them. After Jane Doe, number 20, admitted to taking the items, the defendant berated, threatened, and physically assaulted her. He also imposed punishment on her. He accused her of hiding her face during a video recording. Oh, really? Hiding her face during a video recording he had made of her, and told her that she was going to have the CD sleeve containing the recording is dated 2008. And in context, the recording appears to have been made on that day. This nigga got the dates at the bottom of the screen. Look, okay, I'm reading, y'all. I'm not coming with my lies or none of that. This fool forgot to turn, that's a feature. You can turn the date off. You don't have to have the date on any of your screens. We turn it off even when we take pictures. They give you opportunity to put the location. This fool kept the date at the bottom of the screen to validate when these alleged victims are said things. What the fuck? Sorry, excuse me. Where is nobody is talking about this? Are y'all hearing this? The sleeve containing the recording is dated 2008. And in context, the recording appears to have been made on that date. What the hell? This nigga dated stuff. Okay. All right. Y'all can have them. Y'all can totally have them. Where is Take R. Kelly? Give us Tupac. Where is she at? Where are you at when I need you? Okay. I mean, that was stupid. This nigga color coordinated. I mean, put them in order of dates. Like, you nigga, you just handed them. Here you go. I mean, if this is not like that skit, I need to find that skit, y'all, with David Chappelle. If it is not like that skit, y'all, where he was like, I gotta see my grandmother in the background, I gotta have him peeing. It's like this is everything. Child, let's continue, y'all. I'm bouncing around because it's very lengthy. It's 9 pages, so I'm just like, what, child? So it says the government served a trial subpoena on Jane Doe to testify as a witness at trial and planned to call her to testify tomorrow. So this happened today, you guys. However, after the government played the audio recording for Jane Doe number 20 and Jane Doe number 20 traveled to New York to prepare for her testimony, she started to have a panic attack. And see, this is why, I don't know if you guys tuned in on yesterday. We was talking about John Doe, number 1, which, you know, you guys tune in tonight. I'm gonna read some more of that to prepare us for Wednesday. And you guys that are new in here, I am doing a new series called Where Were the Parents? And we're gonna take a look at this trial with R. Kelly as well as other situations going on. Okay. And on yesterday, we were reading about John Doe, right? And somebody in the chat, you know, blurt out, why didn't he move? Why didn't he leave? He didn't fight back and this and the third. Are y'all listening to what this woman years later is doing in response to videos? She started to have a panic attack and appeared to have an emotional breakdown. It's triggering. It's triggering. For the sake of her mental health, the government advised Jane Doe 20 that it would not call her as a witness at the trial. So there you go, Miss Cecilia. I guess not. I guess they won't be calling her, or maybe they'll refresh her on down the line, you know, because it's just too much for her right now. But we'll see, right? So let's get into this excerpt. And again, like, it's very triggering. You guys have been warned, okay? This is very graphic of the stuff that he says. I skimmed over it, but it's graphic. Like, you know what I'm saying? This nigga just was a little person, little evil little thing. So it goes on to say, there's only one way you are gonna get rid of this. Oh, matter of fact, let me read. I'm sorry. I'm let you guys know. This is an excerpt of the threats made by the defendant on the recording. It is set forth below, and the full transcript of the recording is enclosed as Exhibit B. Okay, so when we be reading them transcripts and we be like Exhibit so and so, yeah. This is what we talking about. Okay. So here goes this insert. There's only one way you're gonna get rid of this, for me to trust your ass again. You're gonna do the F I tell you to do. When you made the effing tape for me, oh, wait a minute. This nigga. Are y'all hearing this? When you made the effing tape for me, when you made the tape for me. So they didn't make it for themselves? They didn't gleefully get in front of the camera and say, I hate my parents, they're abusive, they don't love me, they wanted this and that. They didn't gleefully do that? I thought they wanted to say all those things. When you made the effing tape for me and I looked at that ish, you was hiding your effing face. all over that ish because you didn't want to be seen. I told you to effing trust me. And here it is. I can't effing trust you. You are the one who's effing untrustworthy. I'm a lawyer, man. Shut the F up. You are going to do that ish for me, for effing free. And you ain't going to hide your effing face on me. You are going to do what the F I tell you to do. And you're going to do it effing right. Then I'm going to gain my effing trust back with you, with your ass. If I even detect you trying to hide on that ish, I'm going to blow this ish, ooh, the F up. Are y'all hearing this? And y'all want to tell me why didn't they just leave out the door? Why didn't they just leave out and open the door? They were free to leave. They weren't held high. He didn't have no gun to their head. Oh, yeah. He had one sitting next to him, but he wasn't going to use it. They could have just left. No, he wasn't holding them hostage. The doors weren't locked. If y'all don't understand about mind manipulation, child, say. Man, say. Do you hear this ish? I'm telling you, I effing raised your A. Wow. I effing raised you. I raised you. Effing murdered for doing ish like this. Wait, what? Wait, what? Wait, what? Effing murdered for doing ish like this? Wait, what? Are y'all effing murdered for doing ish like this? Is there a body somewhere that we don't know about? Because why would you be in such fear of empty threats, right? I think it's like unaudible or indicated or something. Maybe like they couldn't hear what was said before that, and then it picked up that part where it says effing murdered for doing ish like this. That's what that means, Gillian and Miss Celia. That UI part, that's what that is. I think it means like unindicated or something, but that's why it's in the brackets. It's not saying this, not what goes along with this. Mind you guys, this is an audio, so it probably is some things that can't be detected, some things that they couldn't pick up. So, but I don't know if y'all capturing that part. That's effing murdered for doing ish like this. So you mean when they get out of character and do something you killed before? Ain't nobody talking about that. That's interesting. I'm just saying that should be a headline right there. What you mean effing murdered for doing this stuff? That's just like a parent saying, you know, your kid lying, you be like, you know, Johnny got popped for doing stuff like this. So what you mean? Effing murdered for doing stuff like this. What kind of threat is that? Ain't that a weird threat, y'all? I'm just saying, to me, that's a weird threat. That's like a left field kind of threat. Effing murdered for doing ish like this. So you're trying to warn her by saying, I've murdered a girl for doing stuff like this. Wow. I'm just saying, that's weird. Okay. Shut up. Shut the F up. You're going to do this ish effing right. You're going to gain my effing trust because you effing owe me that. You hear me? You effing understand me? You're going to do what the F I tell you to do to gain my mother effing trust. You better not even in my mother effing life take from me again, or I will be in Florida and something will happen to you. Oh, that's a threat right there. Whoa. You understand what I'm telling you? Now, you go to that effing garage. You chill there until you hear from me. You understand me? You take your effing phone. You don't call no mother effing body. And I would know if you did. You can go in the closet. Wow. Wait a minute, y'all. Okay. Just ride along with me with this. Tell me if y'all agree in the chat. I'm thinking this is Juice. Or wait, not to get them mixed up, but Rashonda, the girl from the video. Because remember, she was in the garage. And even the little Bobby twins, the little white chicks that worked for him, stated, you know, for a birthday, they got her cake and it was in the garage. She even said that on trial back then. And then to hear, I effing raised you. Just saying. She will be a credible witness, to say the least, if that was her. If this is her. Where we at? Okay. Or you called to, now you go. Oh, now you go to the effing garage. You chill there until you hear from me. You understand me? You take your effing phone. You don't call no mother effing body, and I will know if you did. You can go in the closet. You can go wherever you're gonna go, but I'm gonna know if you did. You come over here for something to eat, or you call to me, and that's the F it. Until I tell you, can go back in that room, okay? Do you hear me? Go to the garage right the F now. When I come and get you this time, you better be effing like you're supposed to be effing B. And you know you held back on that tape. Now don't you? You're not going to do that no more. You bet the F not. Go to the effing garage. Hear me? You are not going to tape until I tell you. When I tell you, I don't give a F. If you're coming out of your sleep, you better be effing ready. Do you understand? I better feel like you asked me to do. You make no effing calls except the studio or me. Wow. Wow. That's in that head, boy, that is all. That's all a mental mind F, to say the least. All a mental mind F, to say the least. Wow. Mm. Okay. Mm. Okay, let me see if we can get to the next. Okay. So right here it says the recordings are also admissible to rebuke testimony elicited by the defendant on cross-examination and arguments that defendant has already made and will continue to make regarding both the government's witness and the nature of the proof in the case. For example, in an apparent attempt to support an argument that the government's, okay, that's just saying what this for. Okay. All right. For example, during cross-examination of Diane Copeland, defense counsel, that the defendant stood up when females, including his girlfriends, entered a room and opened doors for females. Uh-oh, they calling her bluff. Question. Okay, but when his girlfriends came into the room, he stood up. Am I correct? She states that's correct. In fact, when you came into the room, he stood up. Am I correct? That's correct. And in fact, he would stand up anytime a female came into the room. Am I correct? That's correct. And he would open the door for any female. Am I correct? That's correct. It wasn't just his girlfriends. Am I correct? That's correct. Now, and he hired personal assistants to make sure that the needs and the wants of his girlfriends were attended to. Am I correct? That is correct. Ciao. Defense counsel further elicited testimony from Ms. Copeland that the defendant showered his girlfriends and female guests with gifts, fancy parties, rooftop dinners, etc. Okay, now let's go in here. So it says, a contention the recording the government seeks to admit directly refute. Now, in the 15 years that you worked with Mr. Kelly, did you ever see him try to stop or prevent any one of his girlfriends from leaving him? She states no. See, this is true impeachment right here. This is true lies on the stand. Okay. And see, that's why that's why I was trying to tell you guys. If Azriel was lying or if Geronda was lying, they gonna have to prove what they saying to be so, be it true or false. And this is where the gusto gets when the evidence comes out and you have to line up what you said in contrary to what they're proving to be so. Have you ever saw him lock any of his girlfriends in a room? Never. Has he ever asked you to do such a thing? Never. Have you ever heard him ask any of his staff to do such a thing? Never. Did you ever see Mr. Kelly deny any of his girlfriends water? Never. Did you ever hear him ask anyone else to deny them of water? No. Did you ever ask you to deny the water? No. What about food? Have you ever seen him deny them food? No. In fact, they had Uber accounts for the girlfriends. They did. They had menus all across the place to order food. Am I correct? Yes. And they had runners available to them to go and get food. Am I correct? That's correct. And they had personal assistants to also assist them. Indeed, through his cross-examination of Ms. Copeland and other witness, it is apparent that the defendant intends to argue that any confinement of female guests and girlfriends at various locations was either incidental for security purposes or that no one except perhaps Ms. Copeland herself was permitted to roam freely in the defendant's space. Y'all cop that? So that's why that last audio was so prevalent. Why? Because he says himself, you better go to that garage. You better not come out. This nigga just stupid. I'm just sorry. I'm sorry. This nigga is just stupid. And then they are stupid. Miss Copeland, you're an idiot. You're an idiot. Like, she didn't say, I don't recall, or I can't say. No, never. Girl. And then didn't know that they had evidence of his food, telling somebody to go lock themselves up somewhere and not to come out somewhere and not to make a move. So you just dumb. Now let's continue with these people that were lying on the stand. Okay, since y'all, let's get on the true liars that were lying on the stand. Similarly, the defense counsel, oh my gosh, he writes testimony from Suzette Mayweather that she never saw the defendant physically abuse any female. This is what she stated in trial. In fact, you've never seen Mr. Kelly hit anyone. I have not. Now, how long did you work with him? From October 2015 until early February 2017. You this whole time you never saw him just raise so much of a finger. But here we hear and see in audio, not physically see, but we can see that it's a video and you hear physical situations going on. But you girl, you weren't privy to that. Okay, girl. All right, girl. Goes on to say, the recordings show the defendant in his own words, and his own actions, employing the very same means and methods on other girls, including the defendant clearly threatening, instructing, and directing one of his girlfriends to remain in a room, to take her phone with her, but demanding that she not call anyone. So you want to know why no one called anyone? Because these threats they were receiving. Yeah. So now it all makes sense. All these weeks of testimony and people having their phones and being in rooms didn't make a call. Interesting. But demanding that she not call anyone, but the defendant and threatening that he will find out if she did. Now, you go to the effing garage. You chill there until you hear from me. You understand me? You take your effing with getting food, water, drink, shopping, anything of those things. Am I correct? Miss Mayweather answered, that is correct. You did not see anyone in Mr. Kelly's employment do any of those things in terms of denying food and denying women food, water, drinks. Oh, no. She says no. Never saw anyone locked in a room. Never. Enterprise member George Kelly is present and participates in the defendant's interaction with Jane Doe number 20. On one recording where the defendant himself also describes the involvement of his engineers, and where the recording makes clear at its conclusion that the engineers were, you never received any calls at the front desk. Oh, y'all, I think this is also the submission of perjury. Wow. That's why you got to be comprehensive of what you're reading. Y'all, look, they're calling out the cross-examination of Anthony Navarro and showing how he lied. Wow. You never received any calls at the front desk that said that they wanted to leave and they weren't allowed to correct? He says there's been times where there's people that wanted to leave and they couldn't cause, either they couldn't get a ride or we couldn't get a hold of Rob. Okay, these people, they had cell phones as well, correct? So that's what they're pointing out, that they're basically saying, wow, this is why. Okay. So it's not a perjury situation. Let me clarify that. So it's more so stating that it lines up with, yeah, you know what I'm saying? They were trying to leave. Dang. Okay. Wow. Okay. So this is the last page. I'm gonna read this last page. Moreover, that the women in these recordings are not testifying at trial does not alter the conclusion that the videos contain direct evidence of the means and methods of the enterprise, or the defendants and others' participation in the enterprise, or that the video powerfully corroborates the testimony of other witnesses present when the recording was made as well, suggesting they would have strip searched Jane Doe number 2. Such evidence is particularly probative, whereas here the defendant appears to argue that the presence of his engineers in the studio 24 hours a day prevented him from engaging in any abuse of his female guests. And okay, so that is trying to call him out for perjury. They are, y'all, because that engineer dude up here, Navarro, stated that, oh yeah, no, Rob is always in the studio for 24 hours. Like, he's just always working. Wow. Preventing him from engaging in any abuse of his female guests and girlfriends at that location, in a case where the very existence of an enterprise, let alone its membership, is being, oh my gosh, it's been challenged. It's been challenged. Hey, brother, I'm live right now. Yeah, I'm reading this motion that they just put in for evidence. Yeah. So let me hit you as soon as I get finished. All right. Wow. It's been challenged, y'all. By the defendant. There is no proper basis to exclude such clearly relevant and highly, oh man, yeah, come on, y'all. This nigga, oh gosh. Conclusion. For the reasons set forth above and in its initial y'all know that word. The government respectfully submits its motion should be granted. Wow. Gosh. At the time that you worked with him, actually, he had engineers the entire time I was working there. Do you know the shifts of those engineers? I do not know their shifts. Okay, but do you recall them working pretty much 24 hours a day? 24 hours, yeah. There was also somebody there, but they would be there because oftentimes he would have an inspiration or decide to go to the studio and he would either need to work on his music. Am I correct? Correct. Ciao. Y'all, so that is the motion in which they submitted, which is the government. I'm trying to tell you guys, okay? 90% conviction rate. And let's be clear, this man basically handed this case over with these videos, with these audios. And I know people are saying, well, you can't see. You better know what got Harvey Weinstein in the predicament that he was in. An audio I don't know why y'all don't think that that's not necessary. It is. And audio. Wow. Well, I'm gonna get into this. We're gonna get into these comments. Let me see what you guys have to say in regards to everything. Wow, y'all. Child, this nigga on the recording. Today is September 14th, 2021, and I am gonna whoop your behind. You done did too much stuff, and you better go. This nigga, this just dumb. And then this fool in the background. This fool talking about something. I got cameras everywhere. I got cameras in my booty hole. I got cameras in the restroom. And then this fool in the background and in the bus. Yeah, in the bus too. Thank you, homie. Like, y'all are some idiots. Like, this is stupid. Why are we here? Stick a fork. Like, are we seriously? I mean, child. Oh, child. I didn't do this at the beginning of the video, so let me go on and get this out while we figure to wrap this up. You guys, make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. Make sure that you support the channel by sharing this video. Click the X of the chat and click share, and it'll give you all the different platforms that you are in to be able to share the video. Okay, if you'd like to take a step further and show monthly support for my channel, make sure you join. The link can be found in the description box. Okay, if you guys would like to support my channel, just direct. Here's my Cash App. If you do not have Cash App, let me do something right here. All right, down below you'll see my Cash App as well as my PayPal information to send me a little love offering if you don't mind, or if you like to contribute to transcripts. You can send it in. But to be honest with you guys, like I told you guys, this channel is going to another dimension in transcript reading and things that I'm going to be taking care of here on the channel. Okay, so yeah, oh my gosh. But yeah, tell me what you guys think, what you guys heard. If you guys would like to send me anything in regards to the trial or anything, I love you guys sending me these little links and clips and stuff like that. Send it to reviews@whitneyD@gmail.com. I look at it and I respond and I interact with you guys. If you guys would like to take approach to any business needs, maybe website, logo, or whatever, or embarking on your journey in regards to this YouTube, and you need help, hit me up at WhitneyDavisPlanning.com or WhitneyDavisPlanning@gmail.com. Okay. Now, also, you guys, I am starting this Wednesday with Where Were the Parents? Okay. We're going to take a look at some worldwide situations that, have us asking, where were the parents? We're going to look at this whole R. Kelly situation at trial, and we're listening to where some of these parents are, which is these handlers, these enablers. Where were they alerting the people around them that this man was doing all these things, being them so close? They too busy yelling in the background about extra freaking cameras and stuff like that, So we're going to take a look at the trial as well as all these other cases that people are just bypassing. So join me on this Wednesday as we take a look at the first piece in regards to this series, and I'm going to be bringing it to you guys every Wednesday, okay? And not for nothing, shouts out again to the R. Kelly case open discussion on Facebook. That is where I received that. Oh, actually, what I got that insert that we just read for the motion. They are on it. When I tell you, they're always uploading different transcripts, always uploading different motions and stuff like that. Check them out at the R. Kelly case open discussion. Robert Kelly is the one that actually got me over to it and got me involved in that. Okay. But not for nothing, you guys. Lastly, I want you guys to join me on Friday. We have an awesomely good time. That's right. Music and convos with Whitney D. We get into some good topics. We pop our ish. We have fun. We play music. You can join me each Friday with that. Okay. Now, let me go ahead and get into these comments real quick before we wrap everything up. I think I got a good like 5-10 minutes. But yeah, check me out every day. We're gonna be doing different stuff. In between time, I will be reading transcripts and stuff like that. But it's gonna be pertaining to what I'm talking about for the overall week. Okay. All right, so let me get into the comments. Hey, Yada, honey bunches. Yada said, camera in my booty hole. Hey, girl, this nigga had cameras everywhere, it seems like. I got cameras in my room, cameras on my roof, cameras on my bed, cameras on my, I mean, you know, and then this nigga in the background, and in the bus, my nigga, you remember the one in the bus? Oh, yeah, thank you. The one in the bus, you idiots. This nigga's over here corroborating himself. Just stupid. Cece said, I'm so excited. Yay. Miss Celia said, these witnesses are not credible enough. It's a bunch of truth mixed with lies. Are the cameras around the house? I want to see something. You will. You absolutely will. You will see something. You know, that's why the evidence is going in. But what we got to hear is them in the transcript say that it's public. You know, I don't know if you guys be hearing me read transcripts and they'll say, you know, the judge asked, you know, is this going to be published just to the jury? And then she'll say, you know, publish to everybody. So that evidence, everybody will eventually be able to see. Know that when this trial is over with, everything is going to come out. You know, evidence is going to be able to be seen and all this stuff like that. Right now, it's not. No one's privy to the things right now because, you know, the severity of the case and, you know, the sensitivity of it. You know what I'm saying? Tyra says, is this a motion asking the judge to submit the video, the audio and video? It is. It's granting the motion for them to be able to, you know, submit it because this is a different extension of evidence. You know, it's not just the paper stuff, you know, and also I think they're trying to call out a few of these witnesses that perjured themselves, quiet as it's kept. So I think it's tied all into one. It's not just submission of evidence. I think it's also trying to perjure the witnesses on the defense that were lying. So, you know, I don't know. Like I said, I'm not a lawyer. This is all just, you know, based off of my comprehension of what I'm reading. But we will see what this means as the case continues. Cece says, yeah, we do. We sure do, girl. We be having fun. Why the bad face, Cece? Why the angry face, pretty girl? You too pretty to be having an angry face. Why the angry face? But yeah, you guys. Oh, and Tyra, that was well, I don't know what you was asking that for. I'm sorry. This was so far back. I don't know. Andrew says she committed perjury. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. And see, what people got to understand why I was just like, well, y'all can't keep putting out there that Asriel lied on the stand and that she committed perjury and she's getting impeached because the thing is that they have to prove that. They have to prove that Asriel was lying on the stand. They have to prove that Geronda was lying on the stand. Well, here it is. They can prove that these witnesses on behalf of the defense or whoever they was on behalf of were lying. And this is how they got proof of otherwise. That's why I was telling y'all that you're going to hear bits of truths and you're going to hear bits of lies across this stand. Why? Because this is court. This is court. Nobody knows the truth except for the two people involved and the Lord. Okay, we're just trying to make a assessment as clear as we possibly can based off what is presented. Hi, Chanel. Hey, honey bunches. Hey, pretty. Celia said they all did. Yeah, but like I said, everybody, you gotta intertwine it. It's gonna be intertwined in court. Like, let's just be real. When you go to court and you have a speeding ticket and stuff like that, you ain't 100% telling the truth. And if you are, you lie. You lie. Or when you get into a wreck, unless it's the other person's fault and you know 100%. Come on now. on now. They all should be telling the truth. Well, the thing is that you got to understand, like when it comes to these alleged victims, they went through trauma. Did y'all just heard me read how he was talking to them? Okay. And you got to understand, to be set in front of this man again after being away from him so long, that's triggering, y'all. Y'all saw Jane Doe number 20. She didn't even get before him. She just heard the clip, the video, and went into a panic attack. You really think that these alleged victims are really going to be telling 100% truth? No, they're not. No, they're not. However, it is some truth in what they're saying. And that's what they have to prove. It's not about the lies. We're not proving lies. We're proving the truth of the matter. And that's all that matters, is the truth in what they're saying. We're not worried about, well, they lied there. Okay, but where were they telling the truth at? You feel me? We do that, and then what? You know? Tyra says they don't have to prove, just provide doubt. Well, that's the defense got to provide doubt. The prosecution has to prove it. They have to prove their case. Brooklyn says, hey, Whitney in chat. Hey, Brooklyn D, honey. Long time no see. That's a problem. The man is about to go to jail. Period. Period. Like, he literally handed this case over when he did all these damn videos. Like, right there on a platter. Brooklyn said, this is a shit show. Yes, Lord. It's just getting thicker and thicker. Thicker and thicker. I don't know what. I just don't know what, child. It's ridiculous, to say the least. Okay, so something else just broke from the group. They released this 20 minutes ago. Okay, so let me share my screen one last time, and then we're gonna wrap up out of here. And like I said, for you guys, again, let me shout them out again before we head on over. Shouts out. Sorry, D, let me move here. Shouts out to the R. Kelly case open discussion. This is where I'm finna share my screen with you guys with this, okay? Because this is I don't want to necessarily say breaking news or whatever, but this is something interesting, to say the least. Let's look at it real quick, and then I'm gonna wrap up with you guys, I promise. Okay, so hopefully you guys can see that. Okay, it says, an R. Kelly assistant said one of his 18-year-old accusers should run and never come back. Text messages show. A personal assistant of R. Kelly's testified Tuesday in the singer's sex crimes, which is today, you guys. She described how an 18-year-old girlfriend of Kelly's stayed on a bus overnight and looked rough. When she gets to Florida, she should never come back, the assistant wrote in a text message at the time. Y'all, that sounds like that could be ass. That sounds like that could be ass, y'all. Interesting. Sounds like that could be ass. Whew. CC. Oh, wait. Hold on. Let me see. Silly said that means they are not credible. If you lie once, you will lie again. Well, I guess everybody need to be in jail then, Miss Cecilia, because everybody's lying. Literally, you're gonna probably, if R. Kelly takes the stand, he's gonna be lying. Everybody's gonna be doing a little bitty piece of lying. It's just what it is. Nobody is perfect. Nobody's 100%. Hey, sweet and humble spirit, my love. Hey, honey. Cece said, mad face at what R. Kelly has done to these poor victims. Yeah. Sweet and humble says, I'm going to have to press rewind. Yes, and I'm gonna end it here so it won't be so long behind. Okay, sweet and humble. Cece says, and thank you so much for your beautiful comments. You just made my day. You're so welcome, gorgeous. You are. You're welcome. You deserve that. Okay. Not for nothing, you guys. That is the video. Thank you guys for tuning in. I will be back tonight at 7:30. I've already pre-scheduled it. So all you have to do is head on over to my channel. Better yet, let me do this. Let me grab it. Let me grab the link and I'm going to put it in the chat. How about that? And you guys can go ahead and schedule and click the reminder. Okay. So there you go right there. Okay. So I've already pre-scheduled the reading for tonight. We're going to continue with John Doe because it's very, very beneficial to what we're going to be talking about on Wednesday's episode of Where Were the Parents. Okay. It's all going to correlate on Wednesday. Okay. So you guys make sure that you tune in on tonight. As well as on Wednesday, okay? Not for nothing, guys. That is the video. Yes, baby. Sorry, you guys. Okay. Tyra real quick says, damn right, run. No one should date this man moving forward, period. If they do from this point now, it's like now, nigga, now. Come on now. Not for nothing, you guys. That is the video. Thank you guys so very much for tuning in. I pray you guys got a good update, and we'll tune in tonight, okay? I love you guys so very much, but most of all, God loves you. You stay encouraged, okay? Bye-bye. Lord, my husband.